My name is Doc, and this is the THC Launch Pad. This episode, we are going to be talking about marketing collateral. Marketing collateral, what I mean by that is any of the materials, the leave behinds, the often swag, which I talked about in the most recent video, or any of the things that you're using to support your marketing, support your sales, but it's something physical that you can distribute. And how you distribute just depends on what the collateral is and what your business is. So I'm going to go through a bunch of examples and talk about what the most important considerations are. The first thing I want to say is that often after the first primary investment in the central part of your brand, whether it is your website, whether it is your packaging, whether it is, sometimes it's just cannabis flower, but it's going to be the logo, or after those initial investments that are the no-brainers, the first steps, often the first marketing investment that you are going to want to be making is in your collateral. Because this is one of the items that is going to be the easiest, most effective ways for you to get the word out to your potential clients and customers about who you are, what you're doing, what your product is, what are the key things they need to know about its value proposition, all of that. One of the best, most effective ways is to start with that collateral. Because whether it's you or whether it's your salesperson, your market, whoever it is, the person that's out there repping your brand, whether it's shop to shop, in events, whether it's directly facing customers, it's one of the easiest, cheapest, and most effective investments that you could be making early on. So we're talking about anything from postcards, leaflets, flyers. It could be, like I said, it could be the kind of swag that it could be something as simple as a lighter with your logo on it. But, more likely it's going to be, something that's going to have more than just your logo. It's going to have the key information about your brand to hopefully get them entice them into learning more. And that brings us to another really key aspect of all your marketing collateral, which is we call it the CTA, the call to action. What is it? A phone number? Is it your website? Is it a QR code? Something is going to be on that collateral, sometimes all three of those, that's going to make it easy for them, once they've received the collateral, to take the next step that you want. And so the number one piece of advice about all this that I would give anyone is, when you're coming up with whatever it is that your collateral is, that it's based around a very clean, simple design. It only has the most important information. One of the key mistakes people make when they're making a catalog, a leaflet, a flyer, a postcard, any of those, leave behinds, as we call it. One of the key mistakes that people make is they want to put everything on it. They say too much. And if I'm giving you a postcard and, if I have just a clean picture, a big headline, and the CTA, that's going to be a lot more effective than the postcard that has, this is my mission, and these are our values, and these are the products that we have, and this is how you get a hold of us. And it could go on and on, because I've seen people present, this is what we want designed. It's like, slow down. And I'll use an example that we've had with a recent client. We were designing this. This applies just as much to collateral as it did. In this case, it was an ad design that we're designing, and they were trying to put in too much information on this ad. And their reasoning is like, oh, well, we don't know which side they're going to be seeing it from. They may only be seeing it for a second. And so we want to make sure that they get all this information. And I'm like, you are correct in diagnosing the problem, which is whether it's a piece of collateral or an ad or a billboard, whatever it is the person that's receiving that, whether they're passing by it or you're handing it to them, the person who's receiving it may only pay attention to it for a second or two. And who is going to take away the information you want, or which item is going to be more successful at them taking away the information you want? The design that has all the information on it, or the design that has only the most important information? The one key message with the one key CTA, that's going to be way more effective than the message that has everything. And I think you immediately understand why. So this principle applies to all different types of marketing, whether it's your social media or your collateral, your ads, everything. A very clear, simple message with a simple call to action is going to be way more effective than trying to give them everything at once. If you can hook them, then you will have the chance to give them that information later. But if you try to throw it all at everything at them at once, it's just gonna go right by. It's gonna be ignored. So let's just go through the different types of collateral really quickly. Number one, the very first piece of collateral that probably all of you ever had, in whatever business you went into, was the business card. That is collateral. Let's talk about the business card really quickly, because this represents every other type of collateral. Which business card is going to be the most effective? The clean design that I talked about before, the one that more design went into it. If you are just lazy with it and it's just like, oh, here's the information, and that's all it is to you. It's just like, here, I've given my card, it has my information, it's done its job. Maybe if the person's like, hey, do you have your business card? Because I want to call you and I definitely won't forget. Then you could write down the number. You don't even need a business card, right? They're already hooked. Something else that you've done has hooked them. But most of the time, the business card is just going to end up in a desk with hundreds of other business cards. And so you want the business card to be memorable, and that means good design. It doesn't necessarily mean something weird like a circle or a triangle instead of a rectangle, because for some people that can be annoying. If it's a good representation of your brand, then having something unique, whether it's the materials, the shape, the color, there's a lot of different, cool one-off business cards that I've seen. And if that fits your brand, then do it. But you don't have to do that. You just don't do the bare minimum, right? Just like we would talk about any other part of your marketing, don't do the bare minimum. And that applies to any other collateral you do. If I'm handing out a leaflet, or if I'm handing out, for instance, a price sheet, if I'm handing out a price sheet, I can do the bare minimum. I can just get my Excel spreadsheet, put in the prices, print it up, boom, here you go. Or boom, turn it into a PDF, send it out. I mean, yeah, I could do that. But it's just going to, again, get thrown on the pile with the dozen other, price sheets that they've seen this week. Do you want yours to stand out? Put some design into it. Because that design represents your brand. They're going to be, if they are impressed by the pricing sheet that they give you, then you will no longer be competing just on price alone, right? Because if you just give them the piece of white paper with the prices on it, you're just competing on price, right? It's like strain, yeah. Oh, this strain, we don't have that. We haven't had that strain in a while. People requested it, but it's really outside of your control. But if you design it nicely, and again, it's a one-time investment that is going to get defrayed over the more times that you use it, then it's a good investment. Like, oh, I'm going to spend a few $100 to get a really well-designed piece of collateral that I'm handing out. It's your prices, right? That's the most direct ROI investment you could think of. It's like, here's the sheet with my prices on it. You know, if you put a little bit of work into it, whether it's time or money, hiring the right person, then that is going to more directly translate into sales than anything you're doing on social media. And so the last thing I'm going to say is, I've already mentioned it, but when you're designing your collateral, prioritize quality over quantity. It's a cliche, but it's true, especially in this case. If you're like, oh, I could, cut some corners and print twice the number of flyers or whatever it is, yeah, you could do that. Like, oh, I could just make this postcard one-sided. Who cares what's on the other side? Well, it's gonna, like, they're gonna know that you cut corners. So whatever corners you're cutting, I'm not saying invest all your money in it. Like, obviously you don't want to spend more than is worth whatever it is you're designing, but you don't want to just go bargain basement. You don't want to, again, just be like, oh, I'm just doing the bare minimum, because they're going to recognize that, oh, they're just doing the bare minimum. That's the vibe I'm getting from them. I'm not impressed. And your collateral is the point where you're trying to impress them. And so you need to think about how you're going to impress them. It's with your message, it's with the quality of the printing, it's with the quality of the design. All those three go into it. And so invest the time, invest the money. Don't go overboard, but be considered and be smart, and design good collateral. And less is more. When you're putting more quality into it, then it's going to be more effective, and it's going to get you a higher ROI than if you're like, oh, I'm going to print up 1,000 or 10, whatever number, and then you're just going to end up with a lot left over because no one wants them, no one's taking them. You're walking through the event and you're seeing your cheap flyers just laying around or in the trash. Make it something that they're interested in all three of those areas: the quality of the messaging, the quality of the printing, and the quality of the design. If you do that, it's going to be supporting your business, helping you grow your business. If you have any questions about collateral, if you need some help making some decisions, or if you're looking for someone that can help you design them, maybe you're watching this video because you are going through that process, we would be happy to help. We'd love to work with clients on this. We're always looking to thread that needle of, we want to be effective and feel premium without breaking your bank. And so that's our mindset, and I think our clients really respond to what we're doing for them. And so if you have any questions or any needs, feel free to reach out to us. You can leave a comment, you can DM us, you can go to our website and schedule a meeting. But we would love to hear from you. If you are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you all tuning in. We're almost at the end of the THC Launch Pad, so anyone that has been watching all these videos, I really hope that you're getting a lot out of it. I know, like, I put a lot of information in these, probably too much, but I think I hope that you're finding it very helpful. So thank you, and see you next time.